Thank you so much. Fantastic. All right, our last one before intermission is Bill Harvey, Brand Revolutions. Welcome, Bill.
Can you hear me? Bring it up. It's okay. Try that. Can you hear me now? Okay, great. Go. Dad. He was born in the Bronx in 1922. He fought the Nazis in Sicily in 1942. In the 50s, he got a gig as a designer in a startup record company at Bleecker Street in Greenwich Village. Then through the 60s, the bottom right, Rolling Stone magazine cover that was really a gag gift. Here's 3 early covers he designed and illustrated. They are 10-inch extended play vinyl records and the beginning of the golden age of the record business. Two more 10-inch EPs, really early 50s. And the next 17 slides will breeze through his work as the designer, photographer, illustrator, art director, vice president, and general manager of creative services for Elektra Records from 55 to 72. These are the earliest 12-inch vinyl long-playing records he designed and illustrated. It turned out they were all for the same record. This is the wrong one, I'm sorry. So I've mixed my pages up here. This one is the earliest long-playing vinyl records, all for the same record. It's very funny, I think, all out of the same year, too. These are 2 examples showing, the first use of high-end photography. I guess the budgets were growing finally. On the left, Limelighters, the logo, some say was the first logo for a group. The Beatles came about 5 years later. Top right was panoramic stereo. Now stereo was the new recording standard. At this point, I was about 5 years old and really started to pay more attention to the covers and the music. Again, really high-end photography, which was new for him anyway. Judy Collins was the biggest recording artist on Elektra. She was a good friend of my father's, and he made covers for her for over 12 years. The cover on the right might give you an idea of why Stephen Stills wrote a song about her called Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. Uh, 1964, a cover for world-renowned flamenco guitarist Juan Serrano. It was a radical idea to have a cover without a title or the artist's name. On the right, the Beatles, a nod to Beatlemania at the time, which seems to have devoured everything in its path. Spider John Kerner, he was Dylan's college roommate in Dinkytown at the University of Minneapolis. Oh no, we have the wrong one. We're at string band. On the right, Fred Neil, considered the pioneer of what became known as folk rock. Here's Spider John. He was Dylan's college roommate in Dinkytown, Minneapolis, Minnesota. He turned Zimmerman onto what was a ton of traditional American music. Phil Oakes, a protest activist, singer, songwriter, and a yippie. My dad did the photo for that one. 67, Love, a group Jack, my dad's boss, was smitten with from Los Angeles. The leader of the group convinced Jack to record The Doors. And this is the cover of their 3rd album, and the logo by my father has become an iconic symbol of the 60s. Butterfield Blues Band out of Chicago. My father did the logo, the cover, and the photographs on this one. Tim Buckley. This one is a psychedelic folk rock, essentially, and the title was Goodbye and Hello. It was released at the same time as the Beatles did Hello, Goodbye, which kind of confused a lot of people. The Doors cover design, 1967, essentially acid rock. It was far and away the biggest success Elektra ever had. On the strange days, some of the stories that have been told about it are true and some aren't. For what it's worth, the back cover reads, concept and design, William S. Harvey. Zodiac, Cosmic Sounds, producers were heavily into Moog synthesizer electronic music. And on the right, the Holy Moly Rounders. If You Want to Be a Bird, it was on the Easy Rider soundtrack in 1969. Psychedelia ruled the day. Earth Opera, founded by Peter Rohn and David Grisman, was psychedelic rock, basically. And I always loved knowing that the sculpture was made with a giant mayonnaise jar. And on the right, Roxy was pop rock, not to be confused with Roxy Music. Rhinoceros, more psychedelic rock. Even the blues had been infiltrated by psychedelia. The illustrator who did the rhinoceros work on the left was a large print of an Albrecht Dürer rhinoceros. You might have seen an etching on its base before the color and decorations were added. 1969, the MC5 and the Stooges cover weren't only my dad's, but that of also my new brother-in-law, Bob Heimel. He worked under my father and then became art director himself. And you can see my dad in the upper right of the MC5 with the tie and the blue shirt. This is the signing at Elektra Records of the MC5 and the Stooges in 1968, considered the first proto-punk bands. My dad's on the right-hand side there. MC5 were White Panthers, a counterculture, anti-racist, anti-capitalist political collective in solidarity with the Black Panthers, revolutionary for sure. In 64, they launched the None Such Budget classical label to include world music later. 1950 to 73, Elektra released 500 LPs and None Such 250. Just a few more things for me to listen to. That's it.